I wanted to bring up a topic that's really been big in the news. I guess it's one of the biggest, we're seeing it, the commercials going all day long now with GLP-1s more than ever. Spokespeople who are celebrities now. I don't know if you saw that commercial with one of the Williams sisters. It's coming out there and out there more and more that this is the option. And I wanted to get your take on this whole conversation that everyone's looking at weight loss. The way to do it is take these GLP-1s.
Well, I think number one, they do work. Just put it out there. But we're working with this really cool company right now. This might be new to you. There's a company called Blue Jeans, not like the jeans you wear, but like the jeans you have inside of you. And they're able to actually look at the different GLP-1s to see if your body utilizes them or not. Did you know this is like a technology that's out there?
No, I did not.
Okay, this is brand new to me. I got connected to the owner, Nick, just recently, and I'm going down this path because depending on if you're going to take like an Ozempic versus taking something that is going to be more on the Lilly side. So Ozempic is on the Novo Nordisk side. We have our trizepatide on the Lilly side. If it's a semi-glutide, you might not be able to break it down, and or if your body can't use the trizepatide, you can't break it down. So having genetic testing done to see what drugs work for you is something that's new out there. Is that uh, this blew my mind. I had no
Yeah.
idea. And I guess it's for other drugs as well. It can be used for different type of like antidepressants, all different types of things. Who knew that some people can't utilize different medications? So
No,
that's
I mean, that's very interesting. So certain medications don't work for certain people, and to be able to test that before, that really helps the process of lining up the right meds.
it's crazy. So we'll have Nick on the podcast. That's the one thing I want to get over to you. I think this is really
Yeah.
neat. But that being said, this whole GLP-1 craze is kind of where I first saw when we got into bariatrics, the sleeve, all of those different weight loss surgeries. So I was a part of that big wave way back in the early 2000s. And it's interesting to see how that was a very popular weight loss method. And now we're moving into the weight loss drugs. The same as before with those surgeries, we need to make sure we're coupling it in with nutrition counseling. And the reason why is because bariatrics work so well that it literally changed those gut hormones to make it so that you don't feel hungry. The same is happening with GLP-1s. It works so well that you're truly not hungry. And therefore, if you're not eating fiber, protein, nutrients, vitamins, if you're not getting that in, you're going to have major deficiencies. So it's important to make sure that we're coupling nutrition with these GLP-1s. We've written the book on this. I mean, we really truly are the experts when it comes to GLP-1s.
No, absolutely. And I think that it's important. Now, do you recommend, so is this the last resort you think to go to one of these weight loss drugs?
Well, it's interesting. And again, my work in bariatrics, I have empathy for people that really struggle with weight. In the same empathy, I have for people that struggle with alcohol or drugs. I personally have a shopping addiction. Like we all have something, right? But people that deal with obesity is something that you can see, right? So you don't know I necessarily have a shopping addiction or someone has drug or alcohol addiction, but obesity is a tough one and it's very personal to people. And I've seen the struggle years after year after year. And if this medication can truly help them to stop the noise in their head and to really help them with weight loss and or reversing some chronic diseases, I'm not necessarily against GLP-1s. It's just the fact that we need to make sure we're doing it safely.
Yeah, we definitely need to make sure we're doing it safely. And so let's talk about that further. What is safe, doing it safely? Uh,
Well, like
yeah.
I said, so this GLP-1 that you're taking either in a shot form or now soon to be the pill form, this is a synthetic of the hormone that you naturally will create when you eat fiber and protein sources. So a lot of people don't know that we naturally make GLP-1s when we eat certain foods. However, when we eat those certain foods and we create those GLP-1s, it lasts for a short period of time to trigger the brain to like stop eating and move on. The synthetic GLP-1 lasts a lot longer. And so if we're taking too much of that medication or on it too long, it truly is triggering the brain to say, we are not hungry. So people can go all day long without feeling hunger cues and therefore not eating and then going into deficiencies. That's not safe. That's not safe. That's not how the body's going to operate. We need to make sure we're getting our macronutrients, our fat, our proteins, our carbohydrates, and then also getting micronutrients like our vitamins and minerals so that our body can function properly.
So what type of diet, especially when you're not hungry with the GLP-1s? Because I've done the natural GLP-1 and I'm just not hungry and I just don't feel like eating. And I tried some supplement from a company and I liked it to a point, but then it started just really getting old when to take it. And it just felt like you just don't want to eat. What do you
Yeah,
do in a situation like that? Because that's not good. And explain
no,
why that's not good.
it's not good. And so it's not good because you're not going to be able to rebuild cells and keep your hair, skin, and nails, your heart pumping. Like we need these nutrients to have our bodies perform. We are like a moving vehicle. We need to put that energy in or like that gasoline in to have the car or the body work properly. So, for instance, this morning I had some egg bites and nuts, right? So, I have my fiber and fat coming from the nuts. I have the protein coming from the egg bites. That combination is going to trigger my GLP-1 receptors naturally in my body to tell my brain that I am full. That's going to get me into where it's appropriate time to get me to lunch. So then my natural body will say, hey, we're now hungry again. Let's get in our fiber and protein so that we satisfy that GLP-1. We get what the body needs and we go on again for that period of time where we're digesting and then we're hungry again for dinner. That's how the body's supposed to work. You're not supposed to have satiety or fullness for 12 hours straight. That's not natural. And there's a reason because we need to make sure we are replacing those
Mm.
proteins, fats, and fiber sources.
No, I love that. And this would be for another conversation. Like I said, I want to schedule you so many times for my show because I can learn so much from you. Because people are on the go. That's the hardest thing. And if you're taking this medication, so let's just talk about if you do it and you decide, I'm just not going to hardly eat at all.
All
What
right.
what's going to happen to your body? How is that going to be at one point? Are you going to have to be on these GLP-1s the rest of your life? These are questions I have.
Well, there's a lot of questions here. We could do about 20 podcasts on this topic.
Exactly.
And
That's
we
what I want to
will.
hear from you.
And we will. We will because it's a big topic. People are very confused. Even when we do our workplace wellness talks, it's unbelievable the questions that we get because people are so confused about nutrition. There's so much misinformation out there. So, yes, all the studies have shown without nutrition intervention, this is a drug that you would be taking for life. It has proven if you go off this medication without nutrition intervention, you will regain all the weight back. That has been proven from Novo Nordisk and from Lilly. Okay. Across the board, all the studies have shown that. Okay. So that's just out there. That's true studies, research. That's what it says. With nutrition intervention, this is where you can teach your body on how to implement the right foods at this time because we do have that quieting of the brain. That's probably actually a good thing that we can focus on the foods that our bodies need to have. And maybe we have less cravings for those simple sugars, the sweets, and all of that, and help you get on the right track.
Wow. Okay. So what about rest of your life? What has the research shown yet about being on it the rest of your life? The doctors aren't going to prescribe it for the rest of your life. No. They're going to see a certain weight loss and they're going to say, you're done. We're not going to prescribe
Well,
it.
now there's smaller dosage that they can go to. So they're having, this much, much smaller dose, but again, the research shows from both the big companies, both from Lilly and from Novo Nordisk, that these are medications for life. They are indicated for life.
Okay. Indicated for life.
That's
That doesn't
pricey.
sound good. That doesn't sound good to you, does it? To take a medication for life?
It doesn't because, one huge factor is cost. right?
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
because it's just not, a lot of it's not covered by healthcare,
correct.
right? So
And
you're paying out of pocket.
we're dealing with this with the employers. So employers are knocking down our door saying we need an alternative. Like we can't pay $1,200 a month for a medication that's for life. I just had a school district tell me that they paid $50 million last year in GLP-1s.
Oh
$50
my
million.
goodness.
And so this is where understanding the cost to that employer. So now they're going direct to consumer. So I mean, you can spend anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month if you go direct to consumer with these medications. But again, this is very costly when people don't know that you truly can eat the certain foods in combination to create that GLP-1 naturally.
Okay,
And
so
when you do that, it's not just creating GLP-1s. When we do this is going to lower our cholesterol, lower our blood pressure, lower our weight. So it's not just, you know, fixing a problem. We're actually getting healthier.
so but you're all into the natural too. So and that we could talk about that. This is more about the GLP-1s and your thought process. You can't stop this train. You're
No,
hoping
and we're
to
not.
bring.
We're not saying to stop it. We are here to support, whatever, wherever you are in life, we are here to support. And this moment in time is such a special moment because commercial insurance covers the cost of dietitians right now. That may not be forever, especially where we are with Affordable Care Act and things like that. But right now, United Healthcare, Cigna, Aetna, MVP, CDPHP, Blue Cross Blue Shield, nutrition services are a covered cost. Why would you not get a dietitian if you're going to be taking these GLP-1s and make sure your body has what it needs to be healthy? This is your moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going to take a GLP-1 or if you're on a GLP-1, this is your moment to book the dietitian.
Yes. And, all right, so let me go back into this GLP-1. All right, so for life, that's crazy to take a drug for life. And it's interesting that they'll still prescribe it, the doctors, even in lower dosages, once you get down to a certain weight, so you maintain. But ultimately, it's not going to be great. Let's just now put on your dietitian hat and your health hat and saying healthy wise for long term longevity, staying on these drugs forever and not eating healthy, how bad is that going to be with osteoporosis, all
Oh,
the other things that are going to happen in the next 20 years if we don't hack our body and look at our body as a temple, even though we have this drug that's helping us with the struggle that we're dealing with.
Neil, you're dead on. You're dead on. So this is where the body needs fuel to survive. So if you are not getting what the body needs, the body will take from itself. If it's not, like I said, like it'll pull from the bones, it'll pull from our muscle, it'll pull from those stores. And that's not a good thing. We want to make sure that we're constantly replenishing our stores, our energy to make sure that we are being able to stay alive and not get osteoporosis and not get all these other chronic diseases. So
Because you're not eating healthy, you're going to get these chronic diseases, even if you're taking this GLP-1. It's a band-aid to a problem that could cause later life really bad things.
deficiencies are a very bad thing. So if we're getting deficiencies in protein sources, in protein stores, if we're getting deficiencies in vitamin D, if we're getting deficiencies in our antioxidants like vitamin E and vitamin A, these things are very necessary for reducing free radicals, making sure our bodies are working properly, keeping our immune systems healthy and functioning. I mean, it really is going to be a massive, you know, domino effect here of going in the opposite direction of what people
Yeah.
are going to do.
It's very interesting. So just because you're going to look healthy doesn't mean you are healthy if you're not having the proper diet. So next time we do another solo podcast, we're going to dive deeper into the other part. Because like I'd like to just go in and talk about diet. The problem is for busy people, how do they maintain a healthy environment? I went into ChatGPT and I said, okay, I put together meals for me that are going to work. Well, the problem is I can't do them. So that's where Kelly, you're in, and that's where we'll be talking next month about really, we're going to dive deep, and we're going to dive deep in 2026 about the right recipes. Some people are so busy as entrepreneurs. I purchased for a company called Clean Eats, which has great clean food. It's fantastic, but we get bored of the same meals because they don't give a lot of the custom meals the same, so you're having the same old every day, and it gets old. So we can talk about that further for the busy people out there that don't have time to cook as much. How can they have the proper diet that's going to maintain their fuel, keep them healthy, and all those things? And next time we'll talk about that next month, because we're going to be talking another podcast just about what's new with Kelly's Choice. So best place people can go is kellyschoice.org, and they could schedule a dietitian today, right? It's that
They
simple.
can, yes, go right on there. You can book the dietitian right online. You can call our scheduler. You'll see the scheduler number right on the website. Also, if you are a provider, you can fax in that request right to us. We work with providers all the time, so we get that note back to you. We love working with hospital systems. So, either if you're a direct to consumer and you're a person out there that wants a dietitian, you can have one. You
All
can have
right.
your own dedicated RD just for you.
All right. Go to kellyschoice.org. Appreciate it, Kelly. And also pick up your book.
Yes. Pick up the book on Amazon. It's called The New Weight Loss Era. We're very proud of it. And if you are taking a GLP-1, you need this book today.
All right.